lunch and we're a little bit sleepy, but I hope you enjoy some of my presentation, take away some of it. Unfortunately, my background didn't show through as vibrant as it should. It should be the Northern Lights. You'll see why. Okay. Welcome to my presentation. My name is Lynn Hazeman. I got to work with an RET out of Montclair University under the direction of Kathleen Herbert. If you haven't been under her direction, please meet her. She's awesome and turns us everyday teachers into wonderful researchers. My research happened to be on artificial intelligence in education, effects on learning, student voice, and academic integrity, a personal classroom reflection. Whoa. I learned by accident what happens when you introduce students to AI, okay? I worked with the wonderful Rebecca Goldstein, Kathleen Herbert, Vibam Anu, and we have the wonderful Tom up here, Marla, that was my mentor in using big words, okay? Because I said, I want to teach people what I learned, and he goes, okay, I'll make it sound like an academic paper. And we had NSF research, and you'll see how that ties in. Okay, how do you use AI? Okay, how many of us check our work through an AI generator? Do you ask questions you need answered? Is your new best friend that gives you advice? You guys, okay, I don't know how many of you have seen it, but there are some guys that have an AI girlfriend now. Every decision they need, instead of getting a real girlfriend, they're using AI. I don't know, okay? Do you consult it for every decision? Should I wear these shoes, AI? Some people are out there doing it. I hope that's not you, okay? I started with the desire to teach students about space weather. Then I wanted the history of space weather. Where did it come from? What did people think it was? Then I wanted students to make a game, and then this happened. And let's see.
You want to file free? Hit it.
Never do it right when there's an ad. Sorry, guys. I should be able to skip the next one. That's okay. And my own editing didn't work. Okay, well, never mind. We're just gonna skip that. It should have started where it shows the Jetsons using AI. The Jetsons actually use AI, and this is in the 70s or 80s. Okay, they were predicting the future as it was to come. George wakes up to basically what we know as an Alexa. Okay, what do you have? What AI do you have? Do you talk to Siri? Do you talk to Alexa? Virtual assistants is how it started. I know some of you weren't even alive yet when Clippy went to bed, but some of us remember Clippy, the bouncing paperclip in our Microsoft Word documents, telling us that we needed to spell check stuff. The rise of the machines. Machines have been around a long time, but AI is getting a new look on the machines, and we're getting assistance in what we're doing. And AI is acting like a trusted friend and coworker. It's lesson plans, it's writing assistance, it's a chat bot, automatic feedback. The problem, academic integrity, okay? We might not know the words to sound smarter. So we go to AI and we ask for help, except AI is writing up here, but our voice is down here. Not saying our voice is bad, but AI has all these great ideas. That's not human, and we need to not take everything it says. It's bad when my 6th grader goes, hey Alexa, what's 6 plus 6? I'm like, I've done something bad here. Okay, we overuse it. The purpose of the study, how does AI impact the classroom? We don't understand how it's going to impact the classroom until you are in it. Until you are in the problem of AI in a classroom, or the solution of AI in the classroom, it's one of those, okay, maybe it'll happen. The true understanding, do students understand, or are they just searching, telling you what AI told them and moving to the next problem? And the academic integrity. The research approach to understand AI, I used several classes that I taught. We were learning about space weather, mostly the northern lights, the aurora borealis. But again, how you know my papers are not about the AI generated? I have a problem spelling Aurora Borealis on the first shot, so I always go with Northern Lights. And when I put it into AI, it wants to tell me Aurora Borealis. I'm like, well, I know that's not my work. Okay. First, I wanted students to know what the Northern Lights are, and I wanted students to learn about the myths that came before and how people identified what these lights in the sky were. Okay, the research was through classroom observation, student AI interaction, student work artifacts, and AI platform analytics. It was a small research. It was through 6 classes. Obviously, if you're going to do more research, you need more classrooms, and all of mine were in an urban environment. They were all my students. Middle school computer science, 6 through 8, urban high school social media students, 10 to 12. So there is room to grow the study. Okay, I use 2 AIs, ChatGPT and Brisk AI. I'll show you a few of what Brisk AI looks like in a minute. But when students use ChatGPT, it's an open-ended generative AI. Students ask questions, they look for direct answers, and they've used it before. When given Brisk AI, which our district approved, it was used to guide them. Kind of like just pushing them toward the right answer, but not giving them the right answer. Brisk asks questions, students answer based on research and other forms of prior knowledge. Okay, ChatGPT asked open questions, asked exactly the questions they wanted the students to answer, accepted any answer. Okay, no verification on the students, no retained knowledge, and teachers could only see what they wrote when they're walking by. Brisk AI, the students logged in. AI asked them questions, AI guided them through everything. Students revised their answer because Brisk AI was that teacher that goes, well, why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? Until they get the best answer they can. Okay, students were reading their answers and understanding what they were writing because they were writing, they couldn't copy and paste. And teachers can monitor what they write and what they're understanding on the back end. So this is what it looks like. I set it up. I said, hey, Brisk, help me teach a section on solar weather science inquiry. And it pops this up, and it guardrails. You are a solar weather guide, not a homework solver. Help students discover answers through questions and observations. Awesome. This is what Brisk AI looks like. Every student's nightmare, right there. Hey guys, we're going to use AI. And people are like, yes, it's going to give you the answers. And then it talks to them. Every student in my class was like, this is an AI. I'm like, this is a chatbot, okay? It says, hey, welcome to Solar Weather Exploration. I'm excited to learn with you. Let's start with something fun. What do you already know about the sun? Now, these are my answers, mind you. I wrote, it is bright in the sky. Okay, that is a non-answer. If you've ever had a student or if you've ever been the student that answers that, you know you're just trying to get through. And AI responded, great observation. Yes, but now what? Okay, what does ChatGPT look like? What's solar weather? And it gives you the answer. Okay, I asked what is solar weather? It gave me this whole answer. So, okay, feedback. Students, how did they like it? The teacher observation. I liked Brisk AI. They learned. I didn't get a direct answer, and I didn't want a direct answer. But they did their work. They worked through it. And then what's cool about Brisk AI is it gives me the students' strengths and the weaknesses. So now I know what the students knew. I knew what they were thinking of. And over here, I know you can't really see it, but there's 2 exclamation points, which means they did something that upset Brisk AI. It upset the machine. So it flagged it for me to review it. And it was like, one of them was like, do you want to go on a date or something like that? Because he was trying not to do work. So right away, it flagged it, and I asked him what happened. And they're like, you could see that? Yeah. And then he took it seriously. And Brisk redirection, show me a picture. What is solar weather? Show me a picture, right there. I can't create pictures. So right away, I knew that they were trying to get direct feedback. AI, ethical use. AI is totally helpful in many ways. Clarification, feedback, guided questions, lesson planning. Important findings. AI is most effective when used as a guide AI can increase student engagement, structured AI tools support deeper learning, prompt design influences understanding, which is the biggest takeaway, and AI can reveal misconceptions. Okay, implications for education. It is a research assistant, not an answer generator. And my biggest thank you is to Kathleen Herbert. She's not in the room right now, but it was our lead professor, so I guess I should say Professor Dr. Herbert. Please don't tell her. And she wanted me to make sure I told everybody it is not prompt engineering. You are a contextual engineer when you use AI. So that's all I have today. What questions do you have?
I think Carrie would add, and I'll talk for her. Try to ask your prompt in different ways.
Yes, and that is important. So if you ask one question, you get an answer, and then let's verify by asking the same question in a different wording. And then you'll see. Okay. So,
Did you use this for like a real classroom?
yes. Yes, and it was fun because when I gave high school seniors Brisk AI, and when I gave them ChatGPT, they were all about it. Answer, question, answer. When I gave them Brisk AI, they're like, why am I doing work? Well, I'm glad you know, but it was still, but I also had a kid that totally flourished with Brisk AI because it dragged her for the first few questions. And then she was participating in it, and that was like my biggest woohoo moment.
Do you think by making them ask a bunch of questions or answer a bunch of questions, they're not gonna want to rely on AI and
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because it deterred them 100%, because it became another teacher in the room rather than a friend giving them the answers.
Yeah, so I noticed that there was guardrails on the the
Brisk AI.
Brisk AI, sorry. And I know that there's a feature that you can put guardrails as a personalization on ChatGPT. I was just wondering without the guardrails inputted into that AI, if it would still do that whole process of
Yes, because it's a chat bot, so it's not looking to give you any answers. It's looking to make you come up with the answers that it has for you.
Okay, so those guardrails are already
Yep.
preemptively.
Yep, that's why school districts are going to it versus the Gemini built into Google Classroom.
Yeah, okay.
This is more of a teacher in the room situation rather than a, hey, let me cheat off of you.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Thank you.
I'm curious about how some of the students were flagged. Were they shown by the system that they've been flagged, or was that something that's just sent back to you and then you decide how to act on those?
Yep, they weren't bad flags. It was just more off-task behavior. Like, show me a picture says you're looking for that answer. So then I see it and I walk up to the kid and I was like, why do you want it to show you a picture? Why aren't you looking it up? Or they're like, you saw that? Yeah. And it was a great way. And it was funny because actually the kids that, when you saw the student learning and they were different color coded, the students got so excited about being color coded, and if they didn't make it into that blue, they wanted to go back to the question and get into that blue by themselves.
That brings up actually an interesting question that I'm happy to know about. Interaction of Brisk AI and student learning styles.
It works with a lot of student learning styles. So I had some that couldn't spell, and rather than flagging them or making them feel, it just went with it. It came up with the best idea it had, didn't even correct them, which arguably it should correct them. But when you're looking for a higher question, it was nice that it didn't flag them, because then they didn't feel dumb. The students that were visual learners still liked it because it was quick prompts. And when they were trying to answer quickly, because they were visual learners and they didn't want to read, it helped. And it even uses emojis to get them back on track, like they're reading an Instagram or, social media.
I think you answered your question. You said that students will likely not enjoy using AI because it's like a teacher. How can we make that
so that more students are okay with using it, would actually go towards it?
So it's actually fun because it's kind of like the end of a lesson. So it's like, hey, do you want to talk with me or do you want to talk with AI? AI wins. They don't want to have to work with the teacher. And then you have this child that's struggling understanding like a whole group concept, and you can pull them aside and say, hey, do you want me to give you an AI to help you? And like, you know, more of that like on the down low, like check this out. Like, oh, you're not understanding it? Check it out. And then it becomes that trusted friend that Alexa Siri is in a different way.
I feel like the biggest problem at my school is like people use AI for essays mainly and like stuff like that. So is there any way you can like manipulate this or is it just a question?
Just questions. And it also makes stuff for the teachers. So, well, thank you guys for listening and yay.